Welcome to another Secret Influence TV interview. I'm Nick Ronald, and I'm a copywriter and a public speaker, and the author of several books, including Secret Influence, Communicate Persuaded Power. I interview people on this channel who have either some expertise to share to help you be more successful in your personal business life, or have inspiring stories to inspire you to take action to improve your life. Today, I'm very excited. I've got Unisa Kamara. So welcome, Unisa.
Thank you so much, Nick, for having me. It's a pleasure being on here.
So Unisa is the CEO of Global Speakers Platform. So perhaps just to start, do you want to just briefly explain what the Global Speakers Platform is?
Global Speakers Platform is a platform that we support speakers on a global scale via television, radio, magazine, newspaper, and also speaker training. We also have the virtual stage, so everything is done virtually. The only thing that we ask for is for every speaker to be in the UK the time of the event. Now, being that we are global, we will be going to different countries. Well, right now we're in the UK.
And why do you think speaking publicly, with online or in person, is so important for an entrepreneur to reach their audience and position themselves? Why do you think it's so important for entrepreneurs to make that effort to do that? Or people say?
I believe that each entrepreneur, each speaker is an influencer. We're all influencers in our own way. But some people, there's a bit of disarray on how to get started, why they should get started. And by us coming together, conveying, telling our stories, we're able to help others. And by us telling our stories, look at where I'm coming from. Look at me now. It elevates people, it motivates people. So we don't just think, oh, I'm in London or I'm in America. No, you have a powerful story. Your story is like no other. Let's spread it around, because you never know who needs to hear your story. So that's why we feel as though Global Speakers Platform is needed. And I've engaged with so many phenomenal speakers, but they have not been given the opportunity to tell their stories, to expand on their expertise. And they're just basically in a specific zone. And the way the industry goes is, if you don't know somebody, you'll be just stuck in that zone. We don't believe in that. We don't believe that, oh, because you don't have a name or you don't know somebody, this is it. Or you need to spend X amount of money to get on TV or radio. No. We want anyone that believes that they have an impacting story. And don't be nervous to tell your story, because again, nobody knows your story. Only you know your story. So yeah.
It's interesting. I mean, storytelling is such a powerful way to obviously pass information and educate and entertain, but also to inspire and motivate. I think if you hear someone's personal story, often of how they've overcome adversity in some way, or often dealt with some challenges, it can be the most inspiring to hear that directly from someone. Just to talk briefly about your story, because you mentioned, I think, on your LinkedIn profile that one of the things you do is mentor young people because you walked your path. And there's that saying that is, it's not what we do in life, is why we do it. And the why is often comes from our story. Why we do what we do is often motivated by our story, our experiences. Would like to perhaps just share what your story is, what your why is?
My why is basically, I was on the verge of getting on stage with Les Brown. We were doing an event when I received a phone call. A manager comes to me and says, you need to have a phone call. Now, my manager knows when I'm about to get on stage, I need to do me. I need to have my me time. So I was getting mic'd to go on stage. And when he came, he said, "You have a phone call." I looked at him and asked him, "Why are you giving me the phone?" He said, "You need to pick this call." I said, "No, I don't." But instead of walking away, Nick, he stood there. And when I looked at him, he had this facial expression as to say, "I'm sorry," kind of look. So I picked the phone. All I heard was, "He's dead." Who's dead? That was my mother on the other end. So my response was, "Who's dead?" She said, "Your son." Now, the reason why I respect Les Brown so much, because when he gave me that cuddle, because apparently my manager must have spoken to him or something. So he was just holding me and I felt that. But to be quite honest with you, I don't know how I left that arena and ended up in that hotel. That's why I also tell people, when you're on the road, it's not just you. Be careful about the other driver because you don't know what they're going through.
Oh.
So with this, I wanted to convey my story to people, for parents to know this is what I'm going through, for the youths to know this is what I'm going through. You don't want your parent or you don't want your loved one to go through something as much, and they don't want to lose you. Nick, I tried going on television. They telling me I have to pay a lump sum of money. On radio, they telling me I have to pay a lump sum of money. Everywhere I went. So that's why I sat down and constructed this organization, which is now, Global Speakers Platform. I constructed it because I brought all these entrepreneurs, television owners, radio owners, newspapers to become as one. And along that journey, I created Kamara Youth, where we support these young people to empower them, to believe in them, because if I can be who I am today, coming from where I'm coming from, there's nothing that is impossible, because growing up, a lot of people thought I would be dead. Growing up, when I built my first business, a lot of people were telling me I couldn't do it. So I have a passion for the youths. I believe that they're the leaders of tomorrow. So why not invest into them?
It's, I mean, your stories, it's it's very quite. It's one of those things that it can make or break someone. That sort of thing happening, and obviously that moment in time where something like that happens, it could take you down different paths. And obviously, you've used it to inspire you to set up the global platform and I guess give other people an opportunity to share their stories and for you to share your own story. Do you think like everyone's got a story worth telling in that way? Do you think that part of what you do is because people don't have an opportunity to share a story, but everyone's got a story, sort of thing?
Absolutely. No one has a perfect life, Nick. If somebody come to me and say, "Unisa, I've had a perfect life," I would say, "Well, good for you. But you're not lying to me. You're deceiving yourself." We have all gone through our journey, and as long as we're on this universe, on this earth, we will continue to face trials and tribulations. So I believe that everybody has an impacting story. It's just how they deliver the story.
And we're on that aspect of delivery. What do you think are the what is it? Sorry, what is the thing people most struggle with? Do you think is it with delivering effectively on stage or even online? Why do people find hardest? Do you think it's a confidence thing, a lack of skills thing? Why? Because we know that public speaking man's greatest fear, but why do you think people struggle so much with it?
Uncomfortability. People feel as though other people are judging them. People feel unsure. People don't know how to convey their stories. There's so many different reasons as to why. So what we do at Global Speakers Platform is to sit with each individual and have a conversation. Now, we have coaches, phenomenal coaches that we've been working with. And when we sit with an individual, one thing and you and I had a conversation prior. It's the fact that this is your story. It's coming from you. Nobody can tell it better than you. This is your field of expertise. No one can explain how, the brain works better than you, or how to amputate a leg and put it back together. Whatever it is, it's you. But you have to find a way to engage. You have to be transparent, be who you are. Because as an audience, we are psychologists, we are judging, we are quite judgmental human beings. So just be you. And we, the audience, will be the judge. We don't know when you make a mistake, but it's how you pick it up. And if you think you're losing the audience, bring up a little joke. I should say, hey guys, I put you to sleep. Come on, add a little humor. Let me tell you a quick story. I was doing a speech at the parliament. Now, little me, Nick, I'm 5'5". I got on this big stage and I grabbed the mic. What I did was I stood in the middle and I looked at everybody. Now, all these faces looking at me. I said, what are you going to say, short guy? So I took my time. I walked across all the way to the end of the stage and I asked, can you hear me? Can you see me? Yeah. And everybody responded, yeah, we can hear you. We can see you. I took my time again. I walked on the other end of the stage and I asked them again, can you hear me? Can you see me? Everybody responded. Psychologically, there was a reasoning for me doing that.
Both.
You understand? So whatever way you can engage an audience, utilize it. If you're feeling uncomfortable, do something that will make you comfortable. And there's so many techniques that we support our speakers with, because when you get on stage, that energy that goes through you, I just love it. I'm like a big kid on stage. He yourself, when you see me, like, yeah, he's a big kid.
It's interesting. I think it's like that saying, you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. There's even seasoned speakers at times they're going to feel a bit nervous about going on stage, and that's normal, but I think accepting that going on stage by its nature is going to be uncomfortable at times, but once you accept that and then you face the fear, I guess, isn't it? Do you think anyone can become, so do you think if someone wanted to speak on stage but thought, no, I can't do it, or speak, online, do you think anyone can do it with the right training, the right support?
Anyone can do anything they put their mind to. I speak on, the laws of attraction, the vibrations of the universe. Anybody can become whatever they want to become. Anyone, we possess so much, Nate, that it is us that limit ourselves. It is not the universe, and it is not the fact that we're going to face, competitors, because every field you engage in, you will have competitors. Sure. You right now, as a host, I had one TV show, which is called The Mindful Session. It's a psychological one with my co-host and I. And I used to love engaging in that. And then I decided I want to do a political show where I engage with politicians. Now, I was nervous, but nobody else knew. Tony Robinson, before he gets on stage, he gets nervous. So we can do anything, but understand that you will go through the phase. It's how you overcome it is what counts.
Of course. And so you do these two TV shows. We're going to move on in a bit to talk about some of your film projects, but with TV shows, is that a new thing, or have you been doing them a while?
I've been doing them for a while, about over 3 years now. And the thing was, I manifested everything. When I moved to the UK, I was driving with someone. I said, we passed by this big radio station, which is the Beat London. Sure. And I said, I want a radio show. They told me, don't bother. They're not accepting you. They're not going to accept anyone. I went home. Nick, the way I manifested that show, Ivor, the owner, and I sat down, he was like, how did you get in here? I'm like, wait, why am I here now in your office? Oh. Let's find a way forward.
Yeah.
The way I plan is the way I played out the TV shows, the way I manifested them, thought about them, I executed, because everything we do in life, you have to plan it. And everything starts from an emotion, then the thought process, then the strategy, then the execution.
I guess it's a mixture of having the right mindset and an actionable plan. So, having an effective plan with clear targets and a vision and strategy is important. But you've got to have a mindset to motivate yourself and drive yourself forward. And at the same, you can't have one without the other. I think it's like, from what you say, you've got to have that belief and the right mindset to believe it'll happen and motivate yourself to make it happen, and the action plan as well. Was that fair?
Absolutely. Yeah. Don't think it's going to happen overnight, Nick. And one thing I always tell people is, I'm not going to lie to you. It's not going to be easy. But if you believe in you and you're consistent and you're persistent, you will achieve.
I like that. I like that. It's a nice little takeaway there. Just with, so where are your TV shows? Are they online? How would people?
Well, you can catch them online. You can catch them on Roku. It's called Amaze TV. So basically, we've been doing this, the psychological aspect, the political one. I had to stop that because I got a big mouth, Nick. So if I feel something, I'm going to say it. And I ask you questions that you think will not be asked. So that's why when we came on the show, your show, I said, Nick, don't hesitate. Ask me any question.
Uh-huh.
Because these politicians, before they come on the show, the first thing they say is, send me the questions.
So,
okay, I will send you questions. You didn't say, send me the questions you'd be asking me. You said, send me the questions. So I will send you questions.
oh, of course. And so I guess this is probably a good point to move on towards your sort of film projects. So what RCG film production? What's this? What's this about? This is, I guess, this is a new project you're working on.
RCG film production, we've been around for a while, and it's in America.
Okay.
And the lady that owns The Matrix, Terminator, Sophia Stewart, is part of the team.
Right.
This gentleman that was also on Terminator, the big guy, said, I know, I'm not going to shoot you between the eyes. He's also part of the team. So what we're doing is that we're creating movies, we're creating TV shows. So we're consistently working. And I'm not just, the good thing about this is I'm not just working with one film production. I'm dealing on film productions here in the UK and also in America. So RCG is my babies on top of the cake. And we're doing so many big things. We're changing lives. We're not just taking people from Hollywood. We're taking people from your neighborhood, my neighborhood.
Right, sure.
We are open to support. Everything I do, Nick, I want to support. I want to make a difference. And the organizations that I'm with, that's our aim.
Do you think looking for opportunities to collaborate, connect with people and collaborate is a more effective way forward than just looking for ways to compete better? Does that make sense? Because I think the typical thing in business is where you've got to find the most effective way to compete against your competitors to get the edge, which is true, of course, but actually, if you can find opportunities for people you can collaborate with, that could be the best way forward. It looks like, is that something that resonates with you?
Absolutely. I think that my speaking platform is the best. And I know everybody think their organization is the best, but it's the willingness that we have to work with other organizations. It's what the offer that we give to, our companies that want to engage, because they have to understand that we need you to be humane. It's not always about the money. Money is going to come. We all make money. But when you give of yourselves, Nick, the reward, it's phenomenal. You understand? And other people will promote you. You don't even have to spend too much money in marketing, but it's good to have a marketing team, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just say it.
Of course. Do you personally have any preference over, you do your TV shows, you speak on stage and obviously online. Do you have any preference for those mediums? Do you have a preference for speaking on stage in person or speaking online or with TV shows? I think you mentioned radio. Do you have any preference yourself, or do you just find them all equally, all different challenges and equal in that sense?
Each platform has its own advantage. You understand? Because when I get on stage, I'm speaking to that audience, but you get a certain energy that goes through you. You get to engage on that personal, physical level. Online, you get a certain energy, but you convey your message to a global stage. Television, it's global, but there's so many different platforms out there. You understand? So you might just miss the audience that you're trying to cater to, unless you're already established. Radio as well, but I have a large following on radio. I'm not trying to brag, ladies and gentlemen, but we do. And the thing that I always say on my radio show, because I had one radio show, then I went to 2 radio shows. I like the number 2. I'm addicted to 2. But I always say what you feel and feel what you say. Be who you are. That's what I always say. So with that, I get to engage with my audience. Sometimes they call in, sometimes they comment online, because the radio show is not just radio.
Sure.
It's also on social media.
Right. I guess it's getting back to that, whatever you do, and as you're perhaps you're do more things, try new things, business grows. It's just not losing touch about that, why you do what you do, and that your original values. Just another question. So obviously film is getting bigger and bigger as a channel. I read a couple of facts here that 5 billion videos watched on YouTube every day, and Netflix will have estimated 725 million users by next year. I think it's incredible. Why do you think this this growing popularity? Do you think it's why do you think there is this boom in anything on?
Business is booming because of what we represent, our mission statement. We bring entertainment that every director is unique, but it's not the director or the script writers. But when they work together, you have to have that vision, that creativity. I'm not saying nobody has it, but when we get together, because we do have our board meetings, we strategize, and I believe in that. And I'm not going to say anything about Netflix, because which indeed we're now coming with our own streaming. Well, it's already out. We're partnering up with another company to distribute our films. So, I just think what we bring to the table is what is needed. And our platforms, when I say platforms, not just RCG, other film production I engage with, we're trying to bring individuals like you, Nick, on a board so you can have your own streaming channel. We try to make it where it's more informative, which indeed it is. We want to do something where we elevate people. And when we elevate people, we all grow. There's so much money out here to be made. I'm not going to sit here and say, well, how about me? No, if Nick is making money, Nick is not going to leave me behind. There's so much food out here. People are wasting food when other people are dying. So if we can elevate others mentally to help other people, the world will become a better place. And that's one of our other mission statements.
No, I agree. It's it's like the Bill Gates, Richard. Well, I think he's the second richest person in the world now, but and he's the biggest donor to sort of charitable causes. And I read some. I don't know if this is true, but that he gave away half his wealth. He was number one richest person in the world. He gave away half his wealth to charitable causes, and he dropped down to second or third place. But then he rose back up to first place again. But I guess I guess the point of that is that whatever position you are in, you obviously want to be successful, can and make money and do well, but also you can do good to as much as you can within your own purpose, your own sphere. But I guess as you become more successful, there's more opportunity to help others.
Isn't it? Sorry to intercede.
No, go, of course.
I believe that we can create our own opportunities. I remember my first business in America. I wanted to become an entrepreneur. I knew I did not want to work for people. You understand?
Sure.
I built my first business at such a young age. People were doubting me. And we had that conversation before where I had a lot of naysayers. You're wasting your time. Don't waste your time. Go do something else. Go become a security guard. Go to school. You already, you want to be a psychologist, right? So I said, yeah. So go to school for that. Even though I was going to school, I was still making money on the school.
Yeah.
So in life, if you knock on a door, it don't open. That don't mean you should stand there and wait till it opens. Build your own door. Build your own stage. Like you are right now, I'm so proud of you, Nick, because you are doing something you want to do. You're elevating people. You're creating your channel. You're making a difference. You're creating an impact. Other people will just sit there and say, well, I'm going to start tomorrow, or I'm going to wait for Nick to give me a call and walk me through it. If you don't start on your journey, you will never get to, the destination.
Of course. No, it sounds like very much for a young age, it was always inevitable. You knew that you were going to be an entrepreneur, and it's clearly sort of in your blood in that sense. And it sounds like what you say that a lot of these film projects and TV show, there may be an element of entertainment or information, but really fundamentally what you want to do is inspire others. Through the channels as well. Just to move on to something else that we had a chat earlier about, it was the Kamara Youths, which is obviously a charity project involvement. Do you want to talk a bit about what that is?
Kamara Youth is an organization, as I stated, my son was killed. I felt that we needed to create something to elevate. Now, growing up in America, we had a lot of after-school centers to go to. Now, nowadays, you hear consistently budget cut. We cannot do this. We're taking away this. So we created Kamara Youth where we support our young people to become pillars of their community. Sure. We engage, we go to jail. I don't mind going to jail. I don't mind going to a bad community, because when you acknowledge them, Nick, they acknowledge you. But when we stand on the side and judge them, you understand, that's where you see something of negativity. Now, if you see me, you be like, oh, well, he's doing so good. But do you know my journey? Do you know what I've been through? So Kamara Youth is an organization where we are global. We support charities globally. We have events on the last Saturday of every month with 10 phenomenal speakers. Each speakers, expand on their expertise. We build water pumps in different parts of the world. We are literally showing our youths that they can become anything they put their mind to. Things you put on social media, you will never be able to put down again. Because once you post it, you don't know who's copying it. So by the time you try to delete it, it's already gone. Be cautious of what you put on social media. because it might come back and haunt you tomorrow. Be cautious of who you are, because you are an individual and there are no limitations to you but you. So that's what Kamara Youth is about in a nutshell. We want our young people to become pillars of their communities.
I think one point to pick up in there, I think, you talk, I mean, it's always like, give it like that role model aspect, that, it's like, as it's not as some my age, I look for not role models but mentors. I have a mentor and had coaches for business, and in some ways they're almost like a role model aspect, that I look up to them for their expertise and experience to share with me. And I guess with some youths are lacking that role model, whether it's in their personal life or whether it's inspiring them to think the bigger of what they can achieve in life, for their options for after school. So I think that's something I think it's I don't know if that resonates with you about that aspect. I mean, social media is an interesting one, isn't it? It's it's getting, we're spending more and more time in it, particularly the young demographic, and it certainly can, I think, make people have an instant view of the world, and not realize actually, yes, like you say, everything you share can be seen by the world and it can be there forever. And so perhaps there isn't, people aren't aware of of that aspect.
See, you stated you have a mentor. I have a mentor. My mentor is this gentleman called Professor Christopher. Now, he deals with the Queen. He deals with Charles, Prince Charles, well, King Charles now. He's consistently, so I have to acknowledge him, because I did say I was going to be dealing with Nick. He's like, okay, don't forget my name, okay? Say my name. I'm joking, Professor Christopher. But whatever the situation is, he's my mentor. Les Brown has a mentor. Tony Robinson have a mentor. Now, at this age, if we can have mentors, like you said, people that we look up to advise us, to guide us, our children, they're going through a phase of confusion where they're trying to find their place in society, where they're scared. They don't know what is coming, what is going. So if we as adults can get mentors, why can't we be mentors to them? Because we've been through that phase. They're not going to go through exactly what we've been through, but we can give them a bit of guidance. And that is what my team and I do.
I have a question for you. So how do you manage your time? You seem to have an incredible amount of like projects, things going on. You've had for a while, starting new things. How do you manage your time? Do you have any secrets there?
A lot of coffee.
A lot of coffee. Okay, that's the secret.
No, but I have my PA that basically keeps me online.
Cool.
And, sometimes a lot of my meetings are done from home. It's just, Nick, when you love what you do, you understand, you engage. And I know we need to refresh the mind. We have to rejuvenate, But me, when I'm working, if I'm working with you right now, you say, Unisa, I have a project in mind.
Cool.
I will give you 199% of my time. But when I walk away, that's my me time. You understand? I utilize it properly, maybe reading a book. I love being by the water. 5 a.m., I go by the water. That's my me time. Take a deep breath in. I go to the park. I take off my shoe and my socks. I walk barefooted to connect with the universe.
Yeah.
So anything that you do that you enjoy, have my me time.
I heard someone went to a talk the other day, and someone said, whatever you do, give it 100%. So if you're working your business, give it 100% when you're in the business, but then when you are in your personal life, give that 100%.
Indeed.
There's nothing worse than having it overlapping and not quite achieving either. So 100% in your personal life, 100% relaxing, 100% business. But as long as you're giving everything you can when you're doing that particular aspect.
There's nothing that we cannot do, Nick, and I will say that again. But when you want to do it, focus. Focus. Don't just jump in. Think about what you want to do. Get a pen and paper. The more you write, the more it becomes an imprint. They say when we utilize the right side of our brain and the left side of our brain, you understand, we become so powerful. And many of us don't utilize the left side of the brain much. And many of us don't utilize the right side of the brain much. But it's a force when you put them together. The mind, to me, is the most powerful tool that we possess, Nick. It's like it adapts and it's willing to grow. As long as you're growing, the mind will support you in that element. Does that make sense?
It 100% it does. No, very much resonates with me. No, I agree. I think yes, we have such potential in our mind, and we it's an incredible thing. I'm fascinated by psychology and what motivates people. Unisa, I'm really enjoying our chat, and I think I could chat for hours. But to sort of wrap it up there, so many good points, so many little sort of, I think, tips and nuggets, of from your expertise. I think people can take on board and use. But also, you really shared your powerful story, and I think this really motivational. You can see why you believe in motivating others, because you obviously do have a very motivating personality. And so thank you for your time. If you have, obviously, I will share your website and I can share your LinkedIn. But if people, you're obviously up to lots of different projects. If people want to follow you, what's the best way? Is it LinkedIn or?
You can catch me more on Facebook at Unisa Kamara, because LinkedIn, I think, is so saturated now.
Sure.
So it's Facebook, but it's how you utilize your social media platform.
Okay, so thank you,
Nick. And there are a lot of Unisa Kamaras out there, because my team creates sometimes pages for me. But to catch me, I'm the one with the pink suit. That's my
okay.
Pink jacket.
Look out for the pink suit on Facebook, and that will be the genuine Unisa Kamara. So yes, thank you very much, Unisa, for your time. Do subscribe to Secret Influence TV. More interviews coming up with other people with powerful stories to share and expertise to help you be more successful in your personal business life.